Welcome to our latest Swampcast. Pat Dooley and Robbie Andreu, the Gainesville Sun, where we witnessed a great football game, Robbie. It was, we thought it might be a shootout, and that's exactly what it turned out to be.
It really was. It was such an entertaining game. The CBS had to be happy. People at home watching on TV that wanted to see a great game. They saw a great game.
I think Kentucky and Florida ought to play every week. I mean, because it'll be like this every week. Both defenses didn't play well. Florida made some plays. They had some sacks.
Yeah.
But again, they had a hard time getting the other team off the field.
Their numbers are going to look bad, Pat, 512 yards or whatever. But when you look at it, when they had to make some plays, enough plays to get, break their serve a few times, they somehow managed to do it. And then when Florida needed to score, when they needed to answer Kentucky's scores, they did it every time, especially that last one.
And the ball back in Florida's hands as far as the SEC East goes. If they went out, and I said this 2 weeks ago in Baton Rouge, Robbie, Tennessee's going to lose a game. Yeah. They lost it today badly, and Florida wins out. They win the East. They go to Atlanta.
Yeah, they're right back where they were a year ago. I mean, they have 2 losses now, but if they win out, they're in Atlanta. And the way the whole college football season's going, a 2-loss team could be in the national title game. I think that's pretty obvious.
We got another mower back here, just like in Baton Rouge. That's great. Why can't they wait till tomorrow to cut the field?
I don't know. Get it while it's fresh.
Yes, right. Anyway, it was just a spectacular game. And let's talk a little bit. I'm writing about the last drive at Gatorsports.com. You can read it. Robbie's writing about the ball being back in Florida's hands. But that last drive, they had to have it. And I'm telling you what, not only did Tebow come up big, but Dan Mullen and Urban Meyer, you got to give them some credit.
It takes guts on the road to do that, to make that call, and then to have your young players execute it the way they did. Talk about growing up. That's the kind of play that helps you grow up.
You're talking sophomore to sophomore, whatever,
True
50 yards. 50-something yards in the air. If the ball's a little short, a little long, it's timeout. And the clock stops. So the interesting thing is that Urban and Dan Mullen at least considered not going for the touchdown on the 2-yard line. Robbie was in my ear about it.
I kept saying
they need to kneel.
Yeah. Because that way they have control of everything. The clock's going to move. Kentucky has only one timeout. When you score there, Kentucky is back in control of the clock. Which, in the way they go up and down the field, if they hit a quick play and somebody misses a tackle on that last scoring drive for Kentucky, you're looking at maybe 45 seconds kicking an onside kick, and then you're looking at a tip ball or anything can happen. So
and they were again, they scored. Luckily, for Florida, they didn't score until it was 0-0 on the clock. Didn't even kick the onside or the extra point.
It was over.
But it was crazy. The one thing Dan Mullen told me, Robbie, is they checked the clock, they looked at the math, and they couldn't run it out completely.
Yeah.
And they would be giving Kentucky the ball with a chance to score and tie the game. It might have been 5 seconds left, but and I can see that logic, too.
I see it, too, because anything can happen in these kind of games. Like it happened here last week with LSU. A lot of things happened that got LSU back in the game, or got Kentucky back in the game, and they made the most of it, won the game somehow.
I tell you one thing, though. This was not a loss by Kentucky that we've seen before where you kind of sit around and go, wow, how'd they manage? They always manage to lose. Florida had to earn every bit of this. This Kentucky team is a very good offensive team. Not very good on defense, is what we thought they wouldn't be, but they are really good on offense.
Yeah, and Coach Meyer talked about just now in his press conference that this is a really, really good Kentucky football team. And, to get a win of any kind here is great, and they're back in control of their destiny.
Style points don't matter. You won, you're in control, you're tied for first, you win out, you win it. Next week in Jacksonville, there's a little game.
Injury situation, though, Pat. We need to talk about that.
Let's get to that. A lot of injuries right now.
Including
right.
Tebow.
Yeah, Tebow's got a bad right shoulder. He said he was fine. I asked him about it.
He's playing unless it's dislocated in 5 spots.
Have to be laying off. He'd have to actually fall into the ground. But major right broken thumb, Robbie, and some other injuries.
Yeah, Wandy Pierre-Louise has a shoulder, I believe, and he missed part of the game in the second half. Carlton Metter has something wrong with his heel. They're not sure what's going on there. So, they've got some really banged up guys right now, including Tebow.
McMillan's got a shoulder.
He's got a shoulder, missed the second half. Most of the game, I think.
Yeah, they've got a few guys out, so it's going to be, I don't know if any of those guys are going to be healthy enough to play next week. It's going to be tough. And again, it's Florida, Georgia. And Georgia travels well for that game, right?
Yeah, that's what we heard one time from our basketball writer covering the game.
They travel well. Yeah, duh. But anyway, that guy's gone. That's going to do it for this Swampcast. We hope everybody enjoyed the game. We hope you enjoyed this. We'll be back with you next to talk about Florida, Georgia next week. Till then, this is Pat Dooley, Robbie Andreu, live from Lexington, Kentucky, saying so long.